the channel, everybody. I am Don. I'm looking forward to this. Merry Christmas Eve. Jacob Herricks made a gift. This is the 8th of 8 gifts that Jacob made to the channel for me to do Christmas songs, going back, starting on December 17th, right on up through Christmas Eve. So I'm actually wearing this color purposely and this hat purposely in honor of Jacob and everybody really on the channel. But Reba's The Christmas Guest. I don't know this one. I have a feeling it's going to be funny, but it might not. The Christmas Guest could be serious. Maybe they're sort of like inviting Jesus into their home, or, or it could be like the horrible friend or relative who comes in and throws up. I don't know. But Jacob wanted this one to be played Christmas Eve as the final of 8. So let's see what Reba does with The Christmas Guest.
It happened one day near December's end. 2 neighbors called on an old friend, and they found his shop so meager and lean, made gay with 1,000 bows of green. And Conrad was sitting with faces shine, when he suddenly stopped as he stitched a twine, and he said, "Oh friends, at dawn today, when the cock was crowing the night away, the Lord appeared in a dream to me, and said, I'm coming your guest to be. So I've been busy with feet astir and strewing my shop with branches of fir. The table is spread and the kettle is shine, and over the rafters the holly is twined. Now I'll wait for my Lord to appear, and listen closely so I will hear his step as he nears my humble place. And I open the door and look on his face." So his friends went home and left Conrad alone, for this was the happiest day he had known. For long since his family had passed away, and Conrad had spent many a sad Christmas day.
Yeah.
But he knew with the Lord as his Christmas guest, this Christmas would be the dearest and best. So he listened with only joy in his heart, and with every sound he would rise with a start, and look for the Lord to be at his door, like the vision he had had a few hours before. So he ran to the window after hearing a sound, but all he could see on the snow-covered ground was a shabby beggar whose shoes were torn, and all of his clothes were ragged and worn. But Conrad was touched, and he went to the door, and he said, your feet must be frozen and sore.
Yeah.
I have some shoes in my shop for you, and a coat that'll keep you warmer too. So with grateful heart the man went away, but Conrad noticed the time of day, and wondered what made the Lord so late, and how much longer he'd have to wait. When he heard a knock, he ran to the door, but it was only a stranger once more, a bent old lady with a shawl of black, with a bundle of kindling piled on her back. She asked for only a place to rest, but that was reserved for Conrad's great guest. But her voice seemed to plead, "Don't send me away. Let me rest for a while on Christmas Day." So Conrad brewed her a steaming cup and told her to sit at the table and sup. But after she left, he was filled with dismay, for he saw that the hours were slipping away, and the Lord hadn't come as he said he would, and Conrad felt sure he had misunderstood.
Yeah.
When out of the stillness he heard a cry, "Please help me and tell me where am I?" So again he opened his friendly door and stood disappointed as twice before. It was only a child who'd wandered away and was lost from her family on Christmas Day. Again Conrad's heart was heavy and sad, but he knew he should make the little girl glad. So he called her in and he wiped her tears and quieted all her childish fears. Then he led her back to her home once more, but as he entered his own darkened door, he knew the Lord was not coming today, for the hours of Christmas had passed away. So he went to his room and knelt down to pray, and he said, "Dear Lord, why did you delay? What kept you from coming to call on me? For I wanted so much your face to see."
You know where this is going.
When soft in the silence a voice he heard, "Lift up your head, for I kept my word. 3 times my shadow crossed your floor,
Yeah.
and 3 times I came to your lowly door.
Yeah.
I was the beggar with bruised cold feet, and I was the woman you gave something to eat. I was the child on the homeless street. 3 times I knocked, and 3 times I came in.
Bingo.
And each time I found the warmth of a friend. Of all the gifts, love is the best. And I was honored to be your Christmas guest.
That was really well done. That was really well good storytelling. I mean, you know where it was going in the end, but it's still just to see how it got there. And it does bespeak, like, just if you believe in a given thing, then just be it, manifest it. It's kind of what my book is about, basically. It's not preachy at all, but it is about finding who you are and being true to that self. Because in this case, you never know who's watching, you never know any of that. But if it's in your heart to be kind to these people, then just be it. And I like that. Like the word vision was used. Like he had a vision. I mean, biblical references to visions and dreams and all this stuff. And it leaves room for you to doubt yourself, and appropriately so. You've got to check yourself on things, because we all come up with ideas that we think are either in the name of God or just our own ideas, and they're bad ideas, or they're wrong ideas, or they're empty ideas, or they're fruitless. They're just, we get lots of ideas in our own brains. Some of them are pumped in from social media or television or however the brain works. And I don't mean that in a negative light. I just mean like the battlefield of life is in the mind, and you have to check yourself on stuff. So if you get an idea about something, call it a vision if you want, that, oh, the Lord came to me and said X, Y, and Z, the proof's in the pudding. And in this case, he got the pudding, I guess, in the end, because he said, I was there. My shadow crossed your floor 3 times. And that's a cool reference, too. He didn't say, I crossed your floor 3 times. He said, my shadow did. And I like that. I guess he was the light shining from behind these folks, and the shadow was on his floor. And he opened the door. It's one of those things where you just don't know what you mean to somebody. You just don't. But she mentioned love in the end. I think it was the first time that word love was used was toward the end. So when you show people love, or you show them kindness, or you show them generosity, or you're thoughtful and express that outwardly in giving something of yourself, you never know what you mean to people. I've heard it from people at different times in my life, and I'm sure you have, that somebody has shared with you, like, when you did this or when you said that, could have been 30 years ago when we were in grammar school or in high school or at a camp somewhere or wherever. And somebody's like, man, you said something and that stuck with me or whatever. You're like, oh, I feel so good. But that's just because you're being generous or thoughtful and being you. So I love that. Jacob, that's beautiful. I'm not going to rate that one, not that one. But for the record, wait a minute. Can I rate this? I mean, obviously any Christmas song is going to be somewhat theologically motivated because it's Christmas stuff, but this isn't. It's more about the gentleman's idea. All right, so what I was going to say when I'm like, I'm not going to rate this, but if I were to rate it, I'd give this a 10. I'm giving it a 10. So that's going in the playlist of songs of 10. What a way to finish, Jacob, with a 10. How many is that for you now? You were keeping track. You're pretty high up the list in 10s. But that was just so well told for what it was. And I don't rate it based on whether I agree with the content of a song. I agree. One, I felt this song. I felt it. I even got goosebumps. But I believe very much in the expression of love in the way Reba told it. And I was thinking, wow, how do you decide to do a song? Because Reba's pitched so many songs, as are all the big time artists. They have exposure, their agents, their managers, their friends, their spouses present songs to them all the time. They're looking for them on their own. They're writing them on their own. She went with this. And it's like, wow, that was just beautiful choice. So Merry Christmas Eve, folks. Be Christmas tomorrow, as we know. All right, guys. Thank you again, Jacob. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.